Hello, I'm David Kitchenham from Pal Media. This is Pal Media Podcast episode number 3, Business Contingency through Bulletproof IT. Today we are joined by Russ Snelson, Director of Prestige Logic. Prestige Logic is a South Manchester-based support company. Russ and his team are an experienced provider of managed IT services and cloud computing solutions to small, medium and large businesses in the Northwest and throughout the UK. Welcome, Russ.
Hello.
Thanks for allowing me to come in and visit you today. Just going to run through some basic questions about obviously IT and contingency and that side of things, and see what you've got information-wise for us. So, managed IT services and cloud computing. How would you expand on those terms?
So, managed MSP, managed service provider, is what we bill ourselves as. It's, I suppose, it's a remake on the old IT support. And nowadays, there's so much data passing around the network. There's so many systems to manage and look after. So, if you think about the data passing between your computers, the data passing between your printers, the data going across your network, the data going from your CCTV, the data going from your phone, and on and on and on and on. There's a lot to manage there. And what we do is we basically turn our hand to any of the data that goes across the network, and we manage that and we support that. And we report back to it in a proactive way to the business owner. And it just gives us it gives the business owner the confidence to know that everything is secure and running as it should across the network.
Brilliant, that's fantastic. How notably has IT changed over the past 5 years or so?
Well, cloud is a massive thing now. Cloud infrastructure, the way people rely on services delivered from the internet, service delivery, infrastructure delivery, how everything is delivered. Everything has an immediate response. People expect immediate things to happen, and nobody's got time for downtime these days. It affects profits, it affects morale, it affects everything. So everybody wants everything now. That's the biggest thing, I think.
So it's more about having business on demand.
Correct, yeah.
I should imagine that enables business to respond to its customers and offer on-demand services.
Yeah, that's true. The ability to scale up and scale down is critical these days for any business. The backbone of productivity and the economy is small business, SMEs. They grow and they shrink at a moment's notice, and we have to be able to respond and work with them on that.
Brilliant. In terms of security, what are the major pain points businesses encountering?
That's an ever-changing sort of environment. The biggest issue we have these days is people, us. We are the biggest problem when it comes to security. Criminals these days realise that the weak points are us. So getting across, so we've got our typical antivirus that we've all known and loved over the olden days. Now we have to monitor behavioural patterns on computers. And what we're trying to do is educate users not to click on that, not to go and press that, don't go and open that email. Because antivirus doesn't pick these things up these days, and it's literally just educating our people and our users and our friends to not do these things. If we can get that message across, then we've won half the battle.
Excellent. So the criminal elements and people who would actually want to infect our computers, they're using social engineering. They're using humans' inability to want to see who sent that email and what's in that file.
Yeah, well, a fear of missing out, I think it's called, isn't it? So everybody wants to click on everything just in case. What is that? And that's how they're trapping us.
Brilliant. What 3 things can affect a business which IT can prevent, resolve, or lessen the impact of? It's a broad question.
Let's go on that one again.
So, what 3 things would, and it could be 3 or 4 things. IT obviously helps with the delivery of services. It helps us be secure in our businesses. What do you focus on as a business, really, when you approach a new company that perhaps would say, look, come sort my IT? That's a fairer way of questioning.
Yeah, I suppose the one thing that is important, and we should never get away from this, is productivity. Without the productivity, we're spending money, we're wasting money, the bottom line's going down. So we need to make sure that the systems we're using, the systems we're employing, they work, they show value, they can be monitored, and they're mainstream. They're not, they're not Mickey Mouse, and they can be looked after by any IT company, managed service provider, worth their salt.
Okay, so there's an element of future-proofing involved in what you do for business. So it gives us contingency, I should imagine, and say, right, well, it's safe to use Prestige now, but also we're safe in the future as well.
Correct, yeah. So everything we do, we're using industry standard techniques, industry standard security techniques. If we can't do it, then let's start that one again.
No, it's fine. If you can't do it, then no, it's fine. Drink some coffee. We always go through these live, so it's always a good thing to don't panic too much. When a small to medium-sized business is contemplating change in their IT procurement, what normally drives that?
The biggest thing we've noticed over the past, if we go back to the 5-year question again, automation. I think teams used to have a lot of people involved. Suppliers used to have a lot of people involved. Now software's taking place. So I think typically, some businesses still are running the procurement and that side of things on Excel worksheets and expecting to work with supplier management systems, and it's just not working. So automation, cloud-based software is taking the place of people, really. The online reporting, the instant reporting as well. No longer do we have to rely on filling out Excel worksheet, printing off colourful graphs, pie charts and stuff. It's all there, instantly available in the cloud immediately. And I suppose that's the biggest sort of change that we've experienced.
If you were a medium-sized business seeking to upscale IT, what would you say is the key criteria to be looking at?
It has to be productivity and value for money. So we can look at all the different types of technology and we can get all bogged down in that. There's a lot of ways of skinning a cat, as I always say.
Yeah.
It has to be the right technology for your business. It has to deliver results, deliver value, and deliver morale, I suppose. The worst thing in the world is a company working on systems that nobody likes using. Morale goes all the way down, productivity goes down, your bottom line goes down. So you've got to be looking at systems that enable a happy workforce.
Good. And I should imagine you implement projects that would grow with the business, small to medium entity, but also sits within their sort of exact parameters.
Correct, yeah. So a lot of the systems that we're looking at these days are cloud, as you might expect. Cloud enables fast scaling up, fast scaling down, fast scaling out, fast scaling in, plugging bits on. Again, it's got to be right for the business. It isn't one shoe fits all sort of thing. It's we cherry pick the bits of the cloud and the bits of the on-premise equipment still that suits the business and provides the ideal solution.
On-premise equipment, is that hardware or is that servers or client computers?
Yeah, so on-premise hardware is anything, the bits of tin that sit in your office, the computers, the routers, the telephones, anything, the piece of hardware that's tangible, you could touch it and pick it up.
Okay. As a business owner, if you're given time travel and the ability to communicate with a younger Russ Snelson,
you have to be a long time travel machine.
What nugget of advice would you give yourself?
I think it would be to hand things off a little bit more, delegate a little bit more, allow the teams that I'm working with, the people that I'm working with to shine, to bring their professionalism to the table, trust in them a bit more and allow them to get on with it. They've got their own ideas, bring those to the table and let's move together as a group.
That's brilliant. And obviously when I started this up, and this is the bit that might surprise you, we do focus on sort of South Manchester, Northwest based businesses, and obviously you're here at a really great location, sort of just south of Stockport and Hazel Grove. What is it about this area that suits your business?
So this is the biggest area outside London, so we're told. We've got the Northern Powerhouse on our doorstep. We can get on the train and be in London in just under 2 hours. It really is ideal location. So if you look at the number of businesses, the scale of businesses, the types of different businesses across Manchester, Greater Manchester, it's vast. There's enough there for us all to go at. If we want to go a little bit further, ideally suited to get to these places. So I think it's just fantastic. And then if we want to get into the countryside, some for relaxation, it's just up the road.
It's just on our doorstep.
Correct, yeah.
We're really lucky. Well, Russ, thank you for your time today. I think you've answered a lot of the questions that we would be interested in at Power Media in terms of your type of business with sort of South Manchester and how people could interface with your company, and also some of the other things about cloud computing and how IT really is sort of important to small businesses. So thanks again for today.
Thank you.
The Power Media podcast is designed to offer business, marketing and sales advice, available in podcast and in snippet form on all major podcasting platforms. Watch the video on YouTube, catch our social media channels for other interesting content. Finally, be sure to share, subscribe, like, follow and talk about the interview with Russ today. Thanks ever so much.
Thank you.